Today I'm going to speak on the relationship between playfulness and awareness. The flip side of awareness is ignorance. Overcoming ignorance is a challenge because it makes us believe that we are not ignorant in the first place. We are all ignorant in one way or another. Perhaps the highest form of awareness is knowing that we don't know anything. Education is designed to alleviate ignorance, but book learning doesn't exactly help us become aware of who we really are and how we fit into the bigger picture. Experience, however, helps. But if we have bad experiences, we try to avoid them in the future. And the good experiences, we try to sustain for as long as possible. This is often a trial and error approach. Part of the challenge of ignorance is that it makes us take ourselves, our beliefs, and experiences seriously. Because of ignorance, it is much harder to laugh at ourselves. Open-mindedness often suffers as a result. So one of the ways to overcome ignorance and enhance awareness is through playfulness, the combination of attention and reward. It is common knowledge among education psychologists that learning and working environments which involve play tend to enhance the absorption of knowledge, the sense of exploration, and also creativity. A playful, lighthearted attitude promotes awareness by keeping the mind and our perspective on things from calcifying or closing down altogether. An example of calcified perspective is fanaticism. Fanaticism is a form of obsession, usually in a belief system. Playfulness overcomes the sense of doership by increasing our awareness of all the factors involved in the results of our actions. Seeing our actions from a broader perspective humbles the ego. And when the ego is lifted out of the equation, awareness expands rapidly and tremendously. Eventually, we begin to recognize the great self in all. Furthermore, as we discover how to serve the self through our actions, we start merging with the self, which is by default the embodiment of unlimited awareness. To some extent, people tend to fear a playful attitude because it makes us less controllable. For example, take consumerism. Companies, through the power of media, entice us to act by purchasing more and more stuff. They do this by hijacking our attention away from other pursuits and suggesting quick benefits or rewards from their products and services. In this way, they manipulate us to accept what they have to offer by creating an intense desire to buy stuff we really don't need. Consumerism is serious business. We're told that if we don't buy, the economy will collapse and we will all end up on the street jobless. One way to counteract consumerism is to develop media literacy in children, where they learn in school how to deconstruct, that is, how to analyze media messages to understand the many biased choices and intentions involved. Media literacy is quite a wake-up call. I used to teach it. For the first month, most students felt upset they'd been manipulated since childhood. Later, it becomes fun as they learn to bust all sorts of media messages. Media literacy also counters fake news. It teaches us how to spot lies. Media literacy is also an example of how greater awareness supports playfulness. The hidden aim of consumerism is to constrain a playful attitude by enhancing desire and therefore playlessness. When this happens, our awareness plummets and we gradually become shopping automatons. Playfulness frees us from the grip of consumerism. Our need for reward becomes less selective while our attention becomes less easily distracted. In short, the lightheartedness that results makes us more aware of how we are being manipulated, including how our forms of bias subconsciously manipulate us. Playfulness also overcomes the need for immediate gratification, which is becoming a world pandemic in its own right. Immediate gratification is a form of seriousness. It kicks awareness to the curb in favor of a quick fix. Have you ever seen someone eating a particular dish in a restaurant and you just have to try it, even though it might not be so healthy for you in that moment? We all have. Yet how often have you laughed at this impulse and said, nah, perhaps another day, knowing that you have the resources to order it if you wanted to? Probably less often. Being able to laugh at yourself allows you to pause and become aware of what consequences your choices might entail. One way to enhance awareness through playfulness is with creative exploration. The idea is simple. Try something new every day. For example, take a different route to work or school. Try food that you've never eaten before. Play a game you've never tried before. Visit locations you've never been to. Wear colors that you're not used to. Or try out new hobbies. Make new friends. Try writing poetry, haiku perhaps. Read a book you would normally not be interested in. Or take photos of people and things you might never photograph, and so on. This type of exploration is creative in the sense that it takes you outside of your habits and mental emotional boundaries. When you are exploring in this way, remember to open up all 5 senses so that the experience is not mechanical but inclusive. In this way, awareness blossoms. Awareness works through the 5 senses, intuition, and memory. What playfulness adds to the mix is the ability to transcend doership. When we become attached to the results of our actions, our awareness becomes contracted around those results. Without such attachment, our awareness is set free. Another way to look at this is the concept of going with the flow, or as Bruce Lee said, be like water, my friend. Decisions become more intuitive. We become aware of creating our own reality moment by moment in a very spontaneous manner. What lies beyond this creation is a great mystery, yet one that allows us to laugh during the creative process. A lot. Thank you for listening. Namaste. Have a great day.